Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mandap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, stains, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala on FORTPORTAL branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Are you looking for a school that will unlock your child's potential? Now look no further than City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru off FORTPORTAL Kasese Highway. It's a Christian-funded mixed day and boarding school. City Hill Christian School offers a well-rounded education that will prepare your child for a bright future. Out of the 28% of the 2023 Uganda School Certificate of Education Examination (UCE) and Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education (UACE), 54% have been selected to various private secondary schools in Uganda. If it's education you're looking for, City Hill Christian School got you covered. The school has a conducive learning environment. We have the well-equipped library and laboratory for your best child's education. For more information, you can visit City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru, a few kilometers off FORTPORTAL Kasese Highway, or contact the following phone numbers. Join the community of our students. City Hill Christian School. Without a vision, people perish.
Good afternoon, our dear viewers from Uganda and all over the world. You are very welcome to Gillian Tales Show. It is always a pleasure to have you with us here on His Presence TV. We always love and cherish your support. You are very welcome. Today we are going to talk about very many important things, but before we go in all that, I'd like to inform you that after here, if you do not get to understand anything, you can find the exact show on our YouTube channel, Gillian Tales, on my TikTok account, Gillian Tales, and on every social media platform. You can be getting this show done for you, of course. And if you want to comment or give feedback, you will be using this number. I'm going to be reading it for you. Hopefully you are ready to listen and write it. The number is 07607459 and it ends with 81. I pardon myself, it is 0760745981. Yeah, you can be giving us your feedback on that number, and we get to know how you're feeling, what is your take home, and what can you add on our today's topic. Of course, we are going to be talking about a very life-changing topic, and that is self-discovery. I know many of you are wondering, what are we going to be talking about in self-discovery? Have you ever been there and you ask yourself, why am I here? Even before, why am I here? Have you ever asked yourself, who am I? What makes me different from other people? What is my purpose? So we've got you covered. Today we are going to be answering each and every question of those that you have heard and those that you have in your heart. Today we are going to be answering them through our topic, self-discovery. Stay with me, because today may just be the day we discover you.
Are Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mandap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, stains, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala on FORTPORTAL branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Are you looking for a school that will unlock your child's potential? Now look no further than City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru off FORTPORTAL Kasese Highway. It's a Christian-funded mixed-day boarding school. City Hill Christian School offers a well-rounded education that will prepare your child for a bright future. Out of the 28% of the 2023 Uganda School Certificate of Education Examination (UCE) and Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education (UACE), 54% have been selected to various private secondary schools in Uganda. If it's education you're looking for, City Hill Christian School got you covered. The school has a conducive learning environment. We have the well-equipped library and laboratory for your best child's education. For more information, you can visit City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru, a few kilometers off FORTPORTAL Kasese Highway, or contact the following phone numbers. Join the community of our students. City Hill Christian School. Without a vision, people perish.
You are very welcome from that short commercial break. As I told you before, we are going to be talking about a very life-changing topic which will lead us to discover you and which will lead you to discover yourself, and that is self-discovery. I am still reminding you that you can catch up with this show on all of our social media platforms, and you can also give your feedback according to how you feel using our social media handles. And of course, we are going to be diving into our topic. Are you ready? Are you ready to discover yourself today? Are you ready to discover that part of you that you've been missing so much? You've not been knowing how to handle, how to approach. Of course, we are going to be sharing together and getting to know ourselves better. First, we are going to define what self-discovery is. On this show, I know we always have definitions for every topic that I bring, and I thank God so much for that. But we always come up with that one general definition that explains what we are talking about in all ways possible. Self-discovery is the process of understanding your identity. Self-discovery is the process of understanding your identity, your purpose, your strength, and even your weaknesses. Every time you are in a process of understanding your weakness, your strength, your identity, and of course your purpose, that means you are in a process of self-discovery. We've been mentored and groomed in a world where we are pressurized by a lot of things, where we are taught our names, our jobs, our roles towards different stakeholders in life, and of course our responsibility towards everyone and even towards ourselves. But we are never taught who we really are. And of course I don't blame anyone for this, because it is my role to find out what I am, and it is your role to know who you really are. And that is why the Gillian Tales show is here to help us understand ourselves better in this world full of noise, expectations, and pressure. where many people lose themselves trying to fit in. I want us as people who always watch this show to be able to find ourselves, to always be able to fit in without having to lose ourselves, without not having to lose ourselves, of course. Let me tell you this, you don't need to fit in. Yeah, I know that might be something that will make you wonder, what am I trying to say? But you always don't need to fit in. The reason why most of us have lost what we really are is because we try so much to fit in. We try so much to become part of whatever is going on. We try so much to fit in the environments that we are placed in. But that is not always the right thing to do. You don't need to fit in. You were born to stand out. God has not created you to be an ordinary being. You have a purpose, you have a calling, there is a measure of anointing upon you that is supposed to be expressed by standing out, not fitting in. You're not supposed to dissolve in a congregation because you're not them. You are not supposed to fit in a crowd and dissolve yourself there. No, you're supposed to stand out. You're supposed to stand out. And the only way you can stand out is if you get to understand what you really are. Who you really are. What you're capable of. Your strength, your weakness, your purpose, your calling. Your divine calling according to God's perfect will. That is what helps you to do what? To fit in. So today, I want to encourage all of us. Despite the titles that we have, everything that we've gained in life, let us embrace self-discovery. Let us try to understand what we are made of, what we are supposed to do, what our potentials are, what our behavior patterns are, what we like and why we like it, what we don't like and why don't we like it. That is something that we are supposed to know about ourselves. Before you get to know your roles towards different stakeholders in life, towards your community, towards the government, towards your parents, your siblings, towards your boss, towards your fellow employees. Before you get to know your role towards all those people, you're supposed to get to know your role towards yourself. What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to please myself, to make sure that I am in the right state of mind, that I am living peacefully? Because we are living in a generation where the pressure is too much. We are receiving a lot of pressure to achieve things at a certain time frame. So the only way you can receive that pressure and still be in a good position to manage it, that is if you have inner peace. And inner peace comes if you are able to distinguish yourself from very many people. It comes if you are able to understand who you really are. If pressure comes from outside and finds you when you are already on pressure from the inside, you will burst. You will burst. Those are the people that we see, they do not have peace. They've gained a lot of things. They are successful in different fields. They are able to fulfill their responsibilities towards any group of people, but they are not at peace. Why? Because they receive pressure from outside and they are also living in pressure from the inside. Why are they having that pressure from the inside? Because they don't know themselves. They always try so much to fit in. They always try so much to make sure that they don't do mistakes, to make sure that they beat a certain level of achievement, to make sure that they beat a certain level of time frame. They do not give themselves the love that they deserve because they've not found out what they really are. So, therefore, there are very many signs that show you have not discovered yourself. Yeah, because if we go here and I start telling you how to discover yourself, how to do this and that, before you even know that you don't know yourself. Some of us don't know that we don't know ourselves. What makes us think so is because we've succeeded in the areas of life where we are, in the different fields that we are in. And one day someone told me something when I was in this process of growing up in self-discovery, and I did not understand what they meant. Someone once told me that there can be a successful failure. And of course, I didn't understand what they meant, the same way you're not understanding it. Do you know that you can be a successful failure? You have succeeded, but yet you are a failure. What causes about that? When I was analyzing what to talk about in today's show, that is when I got to understand that many of us are successful failures. You succeed in a life where you're not supposed to be. You succeed in an identity where you were not created to be. You succeed in a field where you are not called. You are succeeding in a ministry where God did not place you. You are succeeding in an environment where you're supposed to stand out, but you are instead fitting in. So what do we call that? You've succeeded, but you are a failure. Because every time you succeed in a place where you are not supposed to be, you're always under pressure to maintain yourself in that place. You're always under pressure to gain favor, to gain attention that may help you to stand noticed in that place. And that is not the right thing to do. It is God's perfect will that all of us may cherish in the areas where He blessed us. It is God's perfect will that man succeeds in the area where he was placed right. Not in any way. One day, let Dr. Miles Monroe once said that the richest place on earth is the cemetery. I know you're wondering, how can the cemetery where people are buried be the place with the greatest treasures, the greatest wealth? But this is the reason why. Because most people on earth, the biggest percentage in our generation, dies before exploring their potential. They die with their potential. So every time you go to a cemetery, there are a lot of people who have died with their potentials. There are a lot of people who die on this earth before they find out who they are. Before they are able to discover what God has put in them. Before they are able to fulfill what they are. Most people die trying to please other men. Most people die doing the right things in the wrong places. Yeah. Most people die trying to live a life that someone else once lived. So and so is my role model, so I must live like them. I'm not saying it is bad to have a role model, but we are not supposed to live exactly like them. They are them. Each one of us has been created differently. You have to accept that. You have to agree with that principle of life. You are different. Whether you have a role model, an idol in your life, but you are different from them. So the only better thing you can do for yourself is, of course, to make sure that you borrow a leaf from their life, but you cannot become them. So most of us die so much trying to do what? To understand why other people lived the way they did. We die trying to be the way other people died. They lived like this, so we must live like that. And you live all your life trying to be like a certain idol in your life. You live all your life trying to be like a certain man who once lived. Like a certain artist. Like a certain successful man in life. But you are not them. You are not them. Yeah, and you can never be them. So, there are signs that show you haven't discovered yourself. And the first sign is you constantly seek validation from others. Every time you're not satisfied with what is coming out of you, with the output that you're giving, you always want to be validated by other people. You want to know what is their take. What are they thinking about me? What do they think I am? What am I like them? Of course, that means you've not discovered yourself. Because when you discover yourself, you will not need the validation of people. The second sign to show that you are not yet what you're supposed to be is you compare your life with everyone else's life. That means you've not discovered yourself. Everyone who compares themselves with others, they've not discovered themselves. Because when you discover yourself, you will never compare your beautiful self to another person. Because that is just a source of pressure and restlessness. Why would I compare myself to you? Yet we are different. That is not right. The third sign to show that you've not yet discovered yourself is that you feel empty even when things are going well. Why? Because you cannot appreciate and recognize that I'm doing this, it is going well. You feel like it must be done in a way someone else has ever done it before. You fail to recognize the potential that you have. You fail to recognize your output, to appreciate yourself, to love what you are able to do. But instead, you keep comparing yourself to what other people are able to put out. That is not right. That means you have not yet discovered yourself. And that means you should join this show more often because you need to discover yourself. You don't know your purpose. You don't know what you're supposed to do in life. You don't know what God created you to be. Then that means you've not yet discovered yourself. There are very many other signs that show you have not discovered yourself. But these are few. There are a lot of pressures that come in our lives. And it is only a person who has discovered themselves that can be in position to overcome that pressure peacefully. Pressure is always going to be there. We are going always to receive stress because it is the era and generation that we are in. The external influence is too much. But the only way you can handle what is coming is by understanding who you really are, what you're made of. In God's image, you were made. That is also one thing that you should know. That is also something you should discover about yourself. If God can create you and set you apart to be someone different, why must you force yourself in a certain environment? Is it right? There is always a reason to why you need to know yourself. There are challenges in life that always will come, but the only way you will be able to overcome them is by knowing who you really are, both in Christ and here on earth, in the earthly things, in the secular world that we are living in. Apart from knowing your value in Christ, you should know your value your value in this world. You should know what you're made of. You should know what you are supposed to do. So, I encourage all of us to discover ourselves. In our fourth segment, we're going to be talking about how to discover yourself. But before that, we are going to go for a short commercial break. Stay tuned.
Are you planning to have an event? Here comes an answer. Rina Bridals can make your occasions unforgettable. We offer services like wedding decoration, mantap decoration, engagement decor, kuchala decors, birthday parties, floral arrangements, product launches, cultural events, corporate events, anniversary, states, and many others. For more information, you can contact us on 0774 19 6194 or 0752 46 3094. Find us in Kampala on FORTPORTAL branch. Rina Bridals, making your occasions unforgettable.
HM Visuals Director.
Are you looking for a school that will unlock your child's potential? Now look no further than City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru off FORTPORTAL Kasese Highway. is a Christian-funded mixed-day boarding school. City Hill Christian School offers a well-rounded education that will prepare your child for a bright future. Out of the 28% of the 2023 Uganda School Certificate of Education Examination (UCE) and Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education (UACE), 54% have been selected to various private secondary schools in Uganda. If it's education you're looking for, City Hill Christian School got you covered. The school has a conducive learning environment. We have the well-equipped library and laboratory for your best child's education. For more information, you can visit City Hill Christian School in Kihembo, Kidukuru, a few kilometers off FORTPORTAL Highway, or contact the following phone numbers. Join the community of our students. City Hill Christian School. Without a vision, people perish.
You are welcome back from that short commercial break, and it is always a pleasure having you with us. And now we are going to talk solutions. How do you discover yourself? We're going to talk about just a few point outs, and then we will be going deeper in it some other time. But for today, we want to know how you discover you, how I discover me, and this is the only solution. Okay, our first point to why we should how we should discover ourselves is by spending time alone. Remember, the reason why we have lost ourselves is because we are so much surrounded by a lot of things, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of crowds, a lot of influence. So the only way you can discover who you are is if you can step aside from that environment, from that influence, from those very many people around you. If you can step out for a little while, spend some time alone, disconnect from noise, from pressure, so that you can gain clarity about you, from yourself, not from the noise coming telling you you are this, you are that. No. Take time alone. Secondly, connect with God. It is always in vain whenever you try to understand yourself outside God's perfect plan for you. God is the one who created us, and it is only God who knows who you really are. So, some of us are finding difficulties in knowing who we are, not necessarily because we are not studying ourselves better. It's just because we have failed to connect with God who knows us better, because God even knows the side of you that you don't know about yourself. So, it is also a wise take-home. If you would want to know yourself, then try to know God and try to spend time with God so that God may reveal to you who you really are. Your Creator knows you better. Your Creator knows you better. So pray, connect with God. He will show you what you really are. Number 3, identify your passion. All of us have our own passions. We love different things. We do different things. Different things excite us. You know, one man once said that another man's food is one man's poison. And that is very true. There are some things that I like that you may never like. Why? Because you're not me. So, knowing what your passion is, what excites you, what makes you enthusiastic, what makes you happy, what turns you on, that one helps you to discover yourself. God has designed us differently. He has put in us different passions. We love different things. We love to do different careers. We love we have different hobbies. What I love is not what you love. So, after taking time alone and connecting with God, the third thing you should do is start to analyze what your passion is. Critically do it. What do you like? Not necessarily what my friend likes, what my family wants for me, what my husband likes for me to be, what my children would like me to be. No, not that. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, what do you like, apart from what your boss would like from you, apart from what your husband wants to see out of you, apart from what your responsibility towards your children and the whole environment around you is. What do you like? Why do you like it that way? That is how you should do it. Identify your passion. Accept yourself. When I talk about accepting yourself, that means you should accept the weaknesses that you have, the strength that you have, the passion that you have, everything that you like and why you like it that way. Accept yourself that way. That is how God created you. When you accept yourself, you gain the morale to work to become a better person. But if you keep rejecting who you are and adopting to what people are talking about you, what other people are, because you think you are not worthy of your self-love, so you choose to love other people's behavior, to love other people's influence. It is not right. Love what you have seen you are, and that will make you a better person. You can always go on our social media and find all this information. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all our social media platforms. Gillian Tales, of course, is what you're going to find there. You can give your comment and your feedback and what your take home is and what you would like to add on this show. Our final remarks, of course. I know we always don't want this show to end, but it always comes to an end. Every good thing has an end, but we are always promising to come back every Saturday. We will be live here to make sure that we deliver the best to you here on His Presence TV. So self-discovery is not a one-day journey. We've just begun it today, but it is going to continue. Even in your life, you've just heard of the information. You're going to continue to discover yourself, but today, take a decision. Stop hiding yourself. Stop pretending. You can be the person that you are. That is who you are. Don't pretend around anyone. Don't hide. Don't try to fit in. Stand out, because that is what you're supposed to be. Embrace who you truly are. You are unique. You are chosen, and you have a purpose. That is who you are, of course. Thank you so much for listening and for viewing everything. We really thank the Lord for you, and we bless the Lord that you are part of us as His Presence TV, God made manifest. Goodbye.